If you're struggling with being in the closet, I want to let you know it does get better. I grew up one of five, four brothers and a sister, and quite a conservative home, raised very Catholic, and I even convinced myself for years that it was just a phase, that I just liked looking at guys because I was going through puberty or growing up, and it was weird. Fighting those urges, I would mostly avoid the subject. Growing up dating, I went on a date with a girl here and there, but it wasn't very real. I was very nervous about it every time I went on a date with them because I knew it wasn't me, but I was trying to make everyone else happy, and then I thought if everyone else was happy, then I would be happy. And I think a lot of people in the closet, confused, go through the same thing. And the one thing I've learned through all these years is when I try to please other people and then make myself happy, it never really works that way. I just make them happy. And I don't really make them happy, I just make them think that I'm happy, which I guess makes them feel better. But what they don't know is when you're in that struggle, you are not happy on the inside. Now, I wasn't depressed growing up. I wasn't sad. I just avoided the topic. So if I wasn't dating a girl, which was very rare, I avoided the topic. And in high school, I just focused on my studies and the extracurricular activities, and just avoided the topic of girls. And I was very ambiguous about it. I wouldn't lie and say I didn't like girls, because I did like girls, just not sexually. And I grew up around enough brothers and friends to realize what I could say to tease them. And I liked football, and I liked watching wrestling, pro wrestling, and things. So, those things helped the image, the stereotype that, it's a masculine thing to watch, and I went to baseball games, and I quit the band. When I quit the band, I got more respect. It was very straight thing to do. And in reality, it didn't do anything. It made me happy because I didn't like band. It had nothing to do with my sexuality. So not every decision when I was younger was based on that, but the ones that were, some of them that were just to avoid the topic. So I graduated high school, and I moved on to college, and I thought this would be much easier for me. But I went to a small college in central Massachusetts, and it was a business college, very conservative, very conservative thinkers. At least you would think that, very Republican, so to speak, not the label, because not all of them are like that. But so that didn't help. And I was in a college where there was 70% males and 30% females. I remember one time that my roommate in college had approached me a few weeks in, and he said, I think there's a gay person on the floor that we lived in, and I said, and he asked me, what do I think about that? And I said, well, I don't really have a problem with it, not a big deal. Looking back, I think he was asking about me. I think that there was a rumor already that I might be the gay one, and they were worried about the showers or things happening, and that's myth. That's a nice myth, but that doesn't happen. But you have to go through those rumors, those silly rumors. People, called me things growing up all through the time, that it's lousy. It's not easy, but it's not worth hurting yourself over. That's something I've never ever thought of doing. I value my life, and as time went on, I learned that I had to value my happiness too.
The reason that, I don't know how you don't know, because when I was born and I came out of the womb, my mother's platypus was bedazzled, and I thought that. And then it wasn't, but that's probably why I don't have to do with women now.
Coming out in 2008 or 2009. The first person in the background here is Carol. That was a picture we took recently in Myrtle Beach, but it was a couple years ago. I came out to her at an Olive Garden, and that was the first person I came out to. It went pretty good. Didn't go great because I told her. I built up the big speech, and then she didn't hear it because someone dropped the fork or she was eating a breadstick. I don't know. The next person I came out to was friend Jesse, very religious. To this day, we disagree on some fundamentals, but he is very supportive. He was not attacking. He's never attacked me. He's never hurt me. He's a good person, and I think it's important to realize that there are going to be people you come out to that you're going to be afraid to, but you have to do it because, let's say it didn't go well. It's important that I know that too, because I don't want to pretend or have him pretend or anybody pretend to like me for something I'm not. I'm not an actor. And if I was an actor, that'd be great. But I still want people to like me for my real self. So it's important. And again, when it comes down to happiness, that it gets better. And this is how it gets better. When you're happier, when you can sleep at night, yeah, you might be worried about what people think. You might be worried about what people perceive, but it doesn't matter. Because if at night you're not happy, I would rather worry a little bit about what people think, knowing that I'm out, that they know who I really am, than to like me for someone I'm not, and then have to put on this facade every time a certain situation came up. You don't want to do that.
Finally.
I made him gay on purpose.
So 4 years later, I have a fantasy girlfriend. That's Sarah Blodgett. I was out of comedy for a couple of years, and I got back into it slowly after I came out on stage, and I met some great comedians. Sarah Blodgett's great girl. She's my fantasy girlfriend. I'm her fantasy boyfriend. She has a couple of fantasy husbands. I met Jim LaLetta, phenomenal comedian, who really helped me and get back into the game. And now I'm more successful. I'm better on stage. I'm more comfortable on stage. I've done and I do my jokes about coming out. I do whether they're in straight bars full of straight people, or gay places like Machine in Boston or Club Cafe. I've done shows. So it's amazing what a difference it makes, even in the small parts of your life, professionally, personally, happiness, emotionally, all that. It will improve when you can accept yourself and you're not hiding and you're not pretending to be someone else half the time or afraid of what people are going to think when you're on stage telling jokes. I mean, you're already worried about the jokes being funny, never mind worried about what people might think when they hear them. That's what I used to think. So because of that change, because of me coming out, it improved my life drastically. And again, it gets better. So now I'm out. Those are my friends behind me, and this picture over here. Some of them are straight, some of them are gay. Those are all accepting. I've come out to every one of them, and coming out. I would say always try to have a support group, and that's them. There's going to be people who don't accept you, and that's true. I came out to people who had a hard time with it. In my family, my younger brother Dave and his sister-in-law Kristen were great about it. My older brother, I'm not sure, to be honest. I know he knows, but I think he kind of just doesn't want to talk about it, kind of uncomfortable. My younger brother had some issues with it. And it wasn't fun. It was actually kind of rough. But, you get past that, and you have to just acknowledge that sometimes not everyone's going to accept it. And I'm not going to accept everything they do either. But hopefully your family will love you. But, again, they may not understand it is relatively new, so to speak, compared to, like my parents. My dad, I came out to him a year after he knew, after he found out through my younger brother, after we fought about it. But he was very accepting. He was the first one to call me after a breakup, after a long-term relationship I was in. He was one of the first ones to call me. He was very caring and questioning what happened. And in the end, the relationships are the same, whether you're dating a girl or a guy. physical and emotional stuff, that's the same. And the troubles that come in a relationship, that's the same too. It doesn't matter, the gender doesn't really make a difference. But what I'm attracted to does. So that's the difference for me. That's what I have no control over, and I'm fine with it, and I'm happy with it, and I've accepted it. Some of my friends, my best friend, Chris, what we have in common is we're gay and nothing else. But he's a phenomenal friend. I couldn't ask for a better friend, and he helped me out in this. He helped along in this whole coming out process so much because he had his own experiences, so he could share them with each other. My other best friend Troy is straight and very interested in my life. He doesn't just accept that I'm gay and then move on. He wants to know about my relationships, like he wants to know about his brother and his friend's girlfriends. Same thing. He actually bought me a Match.com membership because he was concerned about the quality of the guys I was dating, which is something I don't disagree with. As my friend Kevin, he's like someone I met at work. Again, very supportive. He's worked with several gay people in other companies in the past, so his understanding is not just. He doesn't just accept it and move on. He interacts and wants to know, and he's very supportive. And I I want to know how his wife and his family is doing. He wants to know how I'm doing, and not just surface questions, but deeper than that. Through my sister-in-law, I met this guy Jason, another great, phenomenal, good friend. Very supportive, very understanding, But the key is to be happy, because if that's who I am and that's who you are, and you don't get along with whoever it is because of it, then that's an issue. That's something else you have to deal with, and you might want to shy away from hanging around with those people and go to gravitate towards people who want to know about you, who want you to be happy, because you will be happier. Happiness, the value of your happiness is what matters the most. Whether you're straight, gay, whatever your issues are, whether you're in a relationship that's controlling or not controlling, you want to be happy with whatever your decisions you make. The decision is you need to come out, and the decision is knowing not to hurt yourself if you're bullied, and to find a support group that supports you, because it's out there. Whether you're in high school, in college, in the workforce, there are groups. My company has a group, a pride group. But there are colleges that have them. There's counselors. There's Facebook groups. There's all kinds of things you can support out there. So the last thing you want to do is hurt yourself and be dejected. It's going to happen. It's going to be real. But take it with stride and move on, and know that find people who like you, because there are people out there who like other people, and that's nice. They value happiness too. So that's my story. I have a great number of friends. I could not be happier, and it's because of them and because of me. My choices first and their support underneath. It's great. My family, my friends, everyone. So it's been 4 or 5 years since I started coming out personally. I did it professionally, and it's very rewarding. So it gets better. Keep your head up, and you'll be fine. So I'm Jeff Norwood. You can follow me on Facebook, comedian Jeff Norwood, and subscribe to me here on YouTube. And I hope you got something from this message other than a bunch of clips put together, because I think I'm a director and I'm not. So thanks again, and it gets better. Keep that in mind.
Hey everyone, my name is Jacob, and this is my It Gets Better video in honor of the...
So that is his name is Jacob, and that actually is who inspired me to do an It Gets Better video. A couple years ago I saw this one, and someone I became friends with on Facebook. He had a great story and about how religion. He had come out, had a boyfriend in Seattle, and some religious people. He was also very religious deep down, and I think he actually went back in the closet, so to speak. He left. He moved out of Seattle. He dumped his boyfriend in like a day or two, and moved out to Phoenix, I think. And then, and eventually he came back. He came around. He wasn't happy with himself, and it's a great story. And I recommend you look it up. The link is below. So I recommend that. it's a great story. He's a great person. I've never met him, but I've talked to him a little bit on Facebook. Good person. You should listen to that video. Again, it gets better. It's a great story. It's real life. It's not like an actor. It's not some celebrity. And I recommend that. You can also check out some other links below from my comedy. And again, all of my friends and my family love you. Thank you so much. You've made my life better by supporting my belief that, you know, happiness is what you need to aim for. That's the value of happiness that matters. And because I am happier, proves that it does get better. So thank you to all of you. And I hope you enjoy this video and that you share it with your friends and your family and on your Facebooks and your Twitters and everything else in the world, because this is very important to me, and as you all are. So I love you all. Thank you so much. And again, it gets better. My name is Jeff Norwood. You can see all that good information below. Bye-bye. So thanks for watching my video. So a couple years ago, I was at my friend Jack and Jen's house, my friends, in near Boston. And they were having, I think, a July 4th party, and it ended up back at their home. And Jack had had a few too many to drink. Now, he's a great friend of mine. We've been friends for 15 years since we met in college. But he thought there was this girl who liked me there, and her name was Debbie. And she's a wonderful girl, and she's got a beautiful daughter, and she's a great person. But she liked me, and I think Jack had talked to her before I got there, or maybe leading up to that he would try to set her up with me. I think that's kind of how it went. And so he was really hammered. Not hammered, pretty close. And he was really aggressive. I was still in the closet to that group of people. And I remember him with 30 people at this house party around this bar in his home, really asking me why I wouldn't want to date this girl. And he kept pressing me for the answer. And I wasn't really ready to come out in front of 30 people who had been drinking excessively after lighting off fireworks. Really a good combination. So, you know, eventually we actually went outside, and I think he really wanted to fight, but thank God I watched wrestling, and he knew I wouldn't win because I only throw fake punches. So eventually I came out to them a few months later, actually, after I was with my ex at the time. He was my boyfriend, and we were going to go up there for a January 1st, New Year's party. But so that happened, and then there's Marissa also, who I went on a date with. Was set up in Atlantic City with my sister-in-law, and I think I told you before, maybe I didn't. She wheezes a lot when she sleeps, and that turned out to be the best thing because I got no sleep that night, and then we went home, and Kristen's got sick and threw up all over the car. So those are funny stories. Some of those don't make sense because there's some stuff missing, but I hope they understand now. And I appreciate them because they're still good people, and I talk to them when I see them all the time. So that's it. Thanks for watching my video.